of an organization is defined by how it cultivates its next generation. The acquisition and development of young talent breathes life. For the Rangers in athletics, the return on investment is displaying its hallmark.
Oh, look at that. Good gracious. That is gone.
The results captivate the mind and tease the imagination. Tonight, under a Texas sky, baseball offers a glimpse of the future of the game.
And welcome back. The team is home after a long trip out west and ready to see a team from the west of the Oakland A's. Two teams leaning heavily on young players in this week of Major League Baseball's draft. Welcome in, everybody. Great to be with you. I'm Dave Raymond alongside first-round draft pick Tom Grieve. That's right. Way back in 1966, a first-rounder for this franchise. And one of the great pieces of this franchise's history. Now, this is Draft Week. We talk about young players. Rangers, if you would believe it, 7-6 over the last 13 games since May 22nd, the second best record in the division, and they're doing it largely on young players.
Development is a big part of the season for the Rangers, and we're going to show some of the players the Rangers are developing. Let's start with the best. That's Nomar Mazara. Drove in 100 runs last year. He hit 20 home runs his first 2 years. This year he's on pace to hit probably 35 or 40. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. One thing you can say about him that I think is as a big a compliment as anything, he doesn't look like a rookie. Very steady player. Ronald Guzman has had some big hits for the team late in the ball game. He's had an RBI every 5.5 at bats. Those are three of the guys the Rangers are trying to build around and develop this season.
A little bit of a new feel for the Rangers. They haven't had to do a lot of this in recent years. Now for Oakland, maybe a bit different, right? They have done this a lot in recent years.
Yeah, they've got some good players of their own, good young players of their own, foundation players. Let's start with Matt Olson, former first-round pick. Going to show a couple of tape measure home runs that he hit in Kansas City. He's had 8 home runs in his last 20 games, hit 24 home runs in less than 200 at-bats last year. Matt Chapman provides power, may not hit for a high average, but he has the power to hit the ball out of the ballpark. His calling card is his defense, where observers are already talking about him as a Gold Glover with a fantastic throwing arm. Dustin Fowler came over from the Yankees in a trade for Sonny Gray. Good young player, a lot of tools, was hitting well over 300 at AAA, 6 for his last 12 with a couple of home runs. So there's 6 really good young players that we're going to watch the next 2 nights.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We do love to see these young guys play and excel. And another way in which the Rangers have excelled recently has been in the bullpen. A good mix, too, of some veteran presence and some youngsters. Let's put that bullpen in the spotlight when we come back. Beautiful night for baseball tonight here in Arlington. The A's and Rangers first of 2 as summer has arrived. Rangers doing some things well lately. Jeff Bannister's had the luxury of calling out a bullpen that of late has been as spot on as just about any of the game time.
Well, they really have, Dave. Since early in May, the bullpen ERA is in the low 2s, 234 to be exact. Take a look at our Shiner box spotlight. Chris Martin has pitched well late in the ball game. Jake Diekman, 250 ERA in his last 21 ball games. He's thrown the ball exceptionally well. The bullpen in that time has only given up a 219 opponent's batting average. Jose Leclerc has been almost untouchable. 1 of 19 inherited runners has scored against him. That's the best percentage in the American League. And Keone Kela, when the game's on the line and you need a save, he's been 13 out of 13. So one of the strengths over the last month for the Rangers that they can really hang their hat on has been the performance of the bullpen.
And a little more bullpen news coming out today just before this one to get started. Let's check in with Emily Jones.
Yeah, the recent performance of the bullpen led in large part to the decision to release Tim Lincecum today. It was time for Tim to come rejoin the big league team, or join the big league team for the first time this season. And John Daniels said that basically he just did not consider Lincecum an upgrade to what they have currently available out of the bullpen right now. They said they had seen some improvements from him on his rehab as he was trying to make his way back to baseball, but at the end of the day, he felt comfortable with what they had here and didn't feel like adding him would be an asset or an improvement as to what they've got available to them at this point in time, Dave.
Okay, so Tim Lincecum now on his own, and we'll see where he ends up. As we are ready to go on this really warm, muggy evening here in Arlington. Let's take a look at the Oakland A's starting lineup. 31 and 29. Marcus Semien will lead it off at short. Chad Pender at left, Jed Lowry at second base. Then it's Davis, Olson, Chapman in the middle, Mark Canha in center field, Piscotty in right, and Jonathan Lucroy doing the catching.
And with Matt Moore on the mound, let's take a look at the pitch arsenal that he will be featuring tonight. He throws a four-seam fastball over half the time. He throws a curveball and a changeup about the same amount of time, and he'll also mix in a cut fastball. As we've been saying about Matt, he shows signs of being able to be an outstanding pitcher. Good fastball, 92 to 94 miles an hour. At times, a well above average curveball. The thing for Matt is to show consistency over 80 to 100 pitches and try to get through 5, 6, or 7 innings and maintain that consistency. That's been a problem for him, and hopefully tonight will be a night where he overcomes that.
All right, so Moore all warmed up, ready to go. Wouldn't think it would take too much to get loose today. 93 degrees and lots of humidity as Marcus Semien stands in to lead things off for Oakland. Oakland 2 games over 500. They've played pretty well this year. And Moore starts us off with a strike to Semien. Semien not wasting much time and sends this one out to center field. The shield's right there, one away. So 2 pitches in. Moore gets his first out of the evening.
And now let's take a look at the Rangers defense, which is delivered by Methodist Health System. In the outfield, usually we see Shin-Soo Choo in right field. He's in left field tonight. Delino is in center field. Nomar will man right field for the Rangers. In the infield, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa will be at third. Joey Gallo's over at first. Up the middle, Jurickson Profar and Rougned Odor, and behind the plate, Robinson Chirinos. Chu said, bring me back to right field. I don't like this.
When did they move that thing? 1-1 to count on Pender.
Well, he's got the eye black, he's got sunglasses, and he's still going to have to use his glove to block that sun. The biggest problem is the soft line drive to left field that goes into the sun and doesn't come out of it. A high fly ball is not that big a problem if you see it off the bat, because as you look straight up in the air for a fly ball, the sun is setting and not in your eyes. It's that line drive that goes into the setting sun and stays in it that becomes a huge problem. So many times it's the Rangers here in the top of the inning that face that problem, and then by the bottom of the inning, many times the sun has gone down and the opposing left fielder does not face the same problem.
It's a little flare out to right field, and Mazzara on the slide makes the catch. 2 away.
Yeah, you couldn't tell whether Nomar was going to be able to get to it or not. I think he felt like he was going to get to it the way he went after this ball. Nice pitch by Matt Moore. He jammed him, blooped it into right field, and Nomar, boy, he took that ball right off the ground. Watch his glove. It's on the ground. It goes right into the web of his glove. Nice play by Nomar out there.
So 2 out. And now Jed Lowry, the switch hitting second baseman, and he takes a strike. You see 42 RBIs for Lowry, hitting just a shade under 300 for the year. In a hole now 0-2, but Lowry, they're not a big guy, and they have some thump in their lineup, but he's a guy you can't overlook. Third in the league with those 42 RBIs, 9 home runs this year. He's a big doubles guy. He likes to find the gap in the outfield and let it roll.
The first month of the season, first 3 weeks of the season anyway, he was probably the best player in the American League, one of 2 or 3 anyway. Hitting upper 300s with home runs, a bunch of RBIs. He was leading the league in RBIs early in the season.
Waits on an 0-2 from Moore. And it is off the plate. Lowry, very much a veteran player. This is 11th year in the big leagues. And he's always been, a highly regarded middle infielder. Earlier in his career, played a lot of shortstop. Rips this one over third base, and that's into left field, a base hit. Lowry will turn and go for two, and what do you know? It's another double for the A's second baseman, his 15th of the year.
Yeah, Lowry's a guy that is not a home run hitter. I mean, he may hit 15 home runs this year, maybe even 20 home runs. You see the fastball that Lowry's able to turn on. Didn't necessarily hit it on the barrel of the bat, but pulled it over third for a double. One thing Lowry does do, he gets a lot of extra base hits. He's a line drive hitter with gap power, and a guy that can hit a lot of doubles. 15 doubles this year. He's on pace to hit well over 40 doubles. He's had years where he's hit 40 or 50 doubles.
He's at the club record last year with 49 for Oakland.
He had 49 last year, 45 in another year. Not quite 50, but close to it.
So now Chris Davis. And Davis hits one hard out to left field. Chu couldn't see it. That one is over his head and up against the wall. So Lowry in easily. Davis drives him home with a 2-out double, and Oakland scores the first run tonight.
Yeah, that's one of those balls that off the bat it's so tough to see because it's going to go through the sun. That was going to be a ball that he's probably going to have trouble with even if there's no sun, because Davis centered that ball right on the barrel of the bat, and it short hopped the wall, line shot. I think even if there was no sun, I don't think Sin Chu was going to be able to get back and catch that ball. With the sun, very little chance.
So still two away, and here is Matt Olson. Only left-handed hitter in the lineup today, and he swings right through strike one. Now, this A's team, they have come to life a little bit offensively in the last week. That last hit right there by Davis, they're now 14 for their last 23 with runners in scoring position. It's an outlandishly good batting average in those spots.
Well, they had a game in Kansas City. I believe it was the Friday game where they scored 16 runs. Olson has been hot. 4 home runs his last 4 games.
Yeah, and they're not cheapies.
No, they're not.
He's hitting them as long as anybody right now. 12 home runs for the year for Matt Olson. Now he does strike out a lot. He has 66 strikeouts this year. That's 8th most in the American League. One nothing. Oakland strikes quickly. Moore's 2-1. That'll even it up 2-2. So our TXU Energy power player to watch tonight is Matt Olson. And so you see home runs in the last 4 games. How about this? 3, the longest 3 this year by any A's batter, have all come in the last 4 games by Matt Olson. Hits this one on the ground, and that's through into left field, a base hit. Chu will charge. They'll send Davis anyway. The throw cut off, and that's an RBI single for Olson. It's 2-0 Oakland.
Yeah, and that's a nice swing right there by Olson. You mentioned, Dave, that he's had a little bit of a problem striking out this year. Yet with 2 strikes on him, he gets a pitch away, and he just serves it to left field. Almost looked like he was taking a little bit off his swing, trying to concentrate on making contact. And so many times you see a guy with 2 strikes take the same swing he would take 3 and 1, try to pull the ball, strike out, go back to the dugout, innings over. But in that particular at bat with 2 strikes, credit Matt Olson with a nice swing on an outside pitch. Took an opportunity to go to left field with a shift on.
Boy, Chapman hits this one hard out to left field, but Chu is there. And the inning is done, but not before Oakland gets a couple. On 3 hits, they leave a man. Well, Shin-Soo Choo, he's done fighting some of that offense back. Let's take a look at their starting lineup. Rangers 25 and 37. Shin-Soo Choo leads it off in left field. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at third. Nomar Mazara in right. Beltre the DH tonight. Profar, Gallo, Chirinos catching. Then at the bottom, Rougned Odor and Delano DeShields in center field. Our Southwest starting lineup. And there is their mound opponent tonight, Sean Manaea. 5 wins, 6 losses, and this is his 13th start of the season. Nice, clean, clear call from Larry Vanover. Tells us that is strike 1.
And for Sean Manaea, the pitch arsenal. He'll throw a 4-seam fastball over half the time. Nice changeup and an effective slider, especially to left-handed hitters. He was one of the best pitchers in the league early in the season. His first 6 starts. Last 6 starts, his ERA is over 7. He's given up 4 runs or more in each one of his last 6 starts. So he is not going well right now after a great start. In fact, that great start included a no-hitter against one of the best offensive teams in baseball, the Boston Red Sox.
3-1 pitch, and Choo takes wide. That's ball 4, and that's interesting right there, because Manaea does not give in with a lot of walks. He is one of the stingiest in the league, but he walks the first man he faces tonight.
Yeah, and I guess if he's going to walk any Ranger, it would probably be Choo. Choo in his last 21 games, including tonight, has walked 20 times, almost once per game. 35th walk for Choo, came into the game with the 6th most walks in the league.
So now Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and Manaea misses wildly in with ball 1 to the Rangers rookie third baseman tonight. Isaiah hitting .247, a couple of homers, 17 RBIs, and you can see there, third among all American League rookies with 41 hits this year. He's been doing a very nice job and gets ahead here now 2-0.
You know, you look back to the no-hitter and you might say that his struggles lately were because he pitched a lot of pitches through 9 innings, through 130 pitches to get his no-hitter, but he only threw 108 pitches in that no-hitter, so that really spread out over 9 innings was not that much of a workload at all.
Not only that, but then his next start, he was at Houston. Pretty good lineup. He went 7 innings, allowed 1 unearned run.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he looked pretty good, but then it just turned on him. 2-0. And that is ball 3 to Kiner-Falefa.
And there's what we're talking about. First 6 starts, 4-2. Since then, 1-4. Only 1 quality start. ERA, first 6, 103. Last 6, over 7. Dramatic turnaround in the wrong direction for Sean Manaea.
Well, he gets a pitch in there to Kiner-Falefa to make it 3-1. Walked Choo on 5 pitches. And that one is ball 4 to Kiner-Falefa. Back-to-back walks.
Take a look at the A's defense behind Sean Manaea tonight. In the outfield will be Chad Pinder. In left field, Mark Canha, versatile player. In center field, Stephen Piscotty. In right field, in the infield, a couple of really good young players. Matt Chapman at third base, Matt Olson at first. Marcus Semien, still a young player himself at short. The veteran Jed Lowry at second. Behind the plate, the veteran Jonathan Lucroy, former Ranger. Dave, you're talking about the control that Manaea has. For him to walk the first 2 batters on 10 pitches seems to indicate that he is not himself right now early in the game. And if you're the Rangers, now is when you want to get a hold of him and put some runs on the board right off the bat. Take advantage of 2 walks with nobody out.
Well, I love the sentiment, and I love the fact that now you have the heart of the order coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't lay out any better as Mazara stands in here, lefty on lefty. Manaea a little worried about Choo back there. Minaya, a guy who last year saw his velocity drop a little bit. He was throwing 95 at the beginning of 2016. Velocity dropped down to 91 last year, and it was at the end of last season that when Minaya revealed to everybody that he lost 25 pounds in the span of a few months during spring training. He had adjusted, or was adjusting to, some new medication to treat his ADD, which really suppressed his appetite. And then last year dealt with a lot of back and shoulder problems. And boy, he and Jonathan Lucroy having more than just a little trouble coming together here. And Bob Melvin even showing a little frustration.
Yeah, if you're the A's, you jump right on the Rangers in the first inning for 3 straight hits, a couple of doubles, and 2 runs. And you come back out and your pitcher on 10 pitches walks the first 2 hitters, and 5 minutes later still hasn't thrown a pitch to the 3rd hitter yet.
Well, you could hear his eyes roll on the last indication from Jonathan Lucroy. Our Lowe's whole team together. You look at the Rangers RBIs at home this year, and Omar Mazara right at the top of the list with 22 of his 39 RBIs coming in this ballpark. There's Gallo, Profar, Guzman, and Kiner Falefa right there in the top 5 as well. Mazara taking all the way, and he'll watch a strike. "14 home runs. Those are 9th most in the American League. And he shoots this one in the air to left, but Pender back into that sunshine and puts it away. Chu tags, heads to 3rd. Here comes the throw, not in time. Oh, good hustle play by Shin-Soo Choo. Moves up on the fly ball by Mazara, and the Rangers have him on the corners with 1 out.
Yeah, that ball was deep enough, and with nobody out, to get to 3rd base with 1 out, where you had a chance to score on the sacrifice fly, was important. Now, if Pinder had caught that ball in position to throw, took 1 step and threw immediately, might have had a shot if he was able to make the same throw. As it was, he made a strong throw, took a little time getting rid of it. Chu snuck in there ahead of the throw.
So now the veteran Adrian Beltre. Chance to get the Rangers on the board here by simply finding the outfield. Even a fly ball here would score a run. Minaya has to get it near the strike zone first.
Minaya's thrown 13 pitches, 9 of them have been balls.
We saw Mazara take the first strike. He had no intent of giving Minaya a strike, and now Beltre takes his first, so it's 1-1. Chu walked, and Kiner Falefa walked. This one fouled away. 1-2 on Beltre. Is 0 for 3 will walk on Sunday in our final game in Anaheim. 2 hits and 10 at bats since coming back off the disabled list. He's done most of his work as the DH. It's not just the 1 game at 3rd. This is his 3rd start as the DH since coming back. And he strikes out swinging, so 2 gone.
Minaya came back after a couple of walks. Came back and made a nice pitch on Adrian. Not lighting up the radar gun, but he's got that arm angle that it would appear would be difficult for the hitter to pick up. So maybe a little sneaky with that 91-mile-an-hour fastball. And in that situation, you strike out Adrian, man on 3rd base, less than 2 outs, and you made a good pitch.
Beltre unhappy after that at bat, and now here is Profar, and he takes high, ball 1. Jurickson batting 5th tonight, getting another start at shortstop. So we get closer and closer to Elvis Andrus maybe coming back off the disabled list. Elvis still about a week away, 1-0. And it is inside ball 2. In the meantime, Profar getting a lot of opportunity, and he's cashed in. I was talking about this the other day. I guess it was Sunday when we were in Anaheim. Maybe not a ton of home runs, 3 of them, but he's among the top 10 in the league in doubles with 18, triples with 4. Rolls this one to shortstop. Simeon shovels to second, and they force out Kiner Falefa. The inning is done. So the Rangers get back-to-back walks to open it, but nothing doing against Minaya in the first. Second, bottom third of the order coming up here for Oakland. Mark Canha will lead it off, their center fielder, then Piscotty and Jonathan Lucroy. Canha at .236 for the year with 7 home runs and 20 RBIs.
Canha got off to a great start. He's cooled off a little bit, though. He's hitting 160 and over 80 at bats.
They went on a stretch of 14 straight games where, as a team, they scored 4 or fewer runs. And during that time, Chris Davis was on the disabled list, right there behind the skipper Bob Melvin, and that's a big part of things for them. But they have had some guys, to your point, who have been a little streaky this year. But since Davis has come back, this offense is reignited.
Well, you know, we talked about the fact that both of these teams are developing players, trying to build for the future. Oh, there's a rocket by Canha. That'll be a base hit. And so there's a lot of young players in the lineup. To have your veteran guy, Davis, one of the best power hitters in baseball, out of the lineup puts more pressure on the young guys. With him back, it takes the pressure off. Take a look at Kiner Falefa. That's all you can do on that ball. When your little league coach says get in front of the ball, he's not talking about that ball. You'll find no big league third baseman that's going to get in front of that one hop shot. Probably came off the bat at 100 miles an hour. You play it off to the side, you hope that somehow you can put your glove in the way of that hop and make an out. But not much you can do on a ball hit like that. Get in front of that, bounces up and hits you in the chin, and you'd be entering the 10-day disabled list.
Yeah, you wake up somewhere else. Those are scary sometimes. So Canha's on with a hit. Now Piscotty. Moore's 1-0. And did he hold up? He foul tipped that one. He foul tipped it. So 1-1. Well, Piscotty off to a slow start. And here's another example of a guy who you could divide the season into very distinct parts. Piscotty lately has seen the ball fall in with a little more regularity. 2-1 the count. He was recently reinstated from the bereavement list. That was on May 15th. And many fans of baseball probably know the story of Stephen Piscotty and his mom Gretchen, who passed away earlier this month. Or I guess that was last month now, early in May. 2-2 the count. This was Piscotty returning from the bereavement list, and that little gesture right there, the hand over the heart. His mom had ALS, and it was one of the ways she could communicate to him that she loved him. He did the same gesture, had the big game his first day back, a really emotional day at the Coliseum. He is one of the game's really good guys.
Can't even imagine how hard it must have been to play that day.
That ball belted to center. And DeShields with a catch up against the fence. Are you kidding me? Delino gave it all up to reel that one in. What a play by Delino DeShields.
Yeah, there's a lot of balls that the fielder gets credit for a great catch when they get back and jump as high as they can to catch it. On this kind of a ball, you deserve the credit, because this ball is not necessarily a high, lazy fly ball. That ball's more of a line drive, and Delino went as hard as he could. He knows he's going to hit the wall, and makes that play up against the wall. When you talk about highlight plays, that's one of them right there. So many of them look like highlight plays when the guy gets back, jumps high, but really for a big league player, when you're waiting for it and then just jump high to catch it, that's not a hard play. That's a hard play right there. Sprinting, knowing you're going to hit the wall, and concentrating enough to catch it. That should be one of the best of the day right there.
That is a hard play and a hard hit. Man. So Delino with an outstanding effort to take extra bases away from Piscotty. Now Jonathan Lucroy, and Moore's 1-0. High in the air, foul over to the right side, out of play.
And take a look at it. It's a line drive directly over his head, one of the hardest balls to catch. He gauged it the whole way, and he was not going to give in to that wall. Never broke stride, never showed any signs of shying away from the wall.
So Canna remains at first. The 1-1. Lucroy hits this one to center field, but not going to carry quite as far. And DeShields can make a little more relaxed play on that one, 2 away.
Yeah, it's so much harder to make that kind of a play than a diving play, left, right, or in front of you.
2 gone, and here comes the A's shortstop Marcus Semien for a little update on the Rangers shortstop Elvis Andrus. Let's check in with Emily.
Yeah, Elvis continuing to make progress, got on the field, basically did his own kind of private batting practice today, playing catch, fielding balls, getting in the cage. He said he felt great afterward. The step from here now is just to continue to repeat that process, make sure he's ready to go, but still aiming for that June 12th date is the earliest he can come back, and hoping that works out.
Semien with a little comebacker, and he is retired to end the inning. A leadoff hit for the A's, but Moore needs just 12 pitches to get it done in the second. We played 1.5. It's 2-0 Oakland. All right, ready to go here in the bottom of the second. Joey Gallo shows bunt and takes ball 1. Joey leading it off here, then Chirinos and Odor.
I think eventually Joey's going to get comfortable and he'll be able to lay the bunt down. And in certain circumstances like this, where you're leading off an inning, not a bad time to do it. Late in the game, down by a few runs, leading off an inning, they give it to you. Why not take a base hit? You get 5 or 6 of those in a year, add 10 or 12 points to your batting average. And the thing is, once you show that you might do it, if they're playing in a conventional defense, you might shy away from doing it again because you've alerted them. In this case, it doesn't matter if they know you're going to bunt. The shortstop's out in left field practically.
3-1 to count. Well, he has reached base safely now in 7 straight starts. And in fact, if you want to look at it in terms of plate appearances, 11 of his last 23 plate appearances. Hits this ball hard into that shift, though. And that one picked up by Semien, the shortstop. And throws him out.
The catcher, number 61, Robinson Chirinos.
That's a ball that Joey hits pretty well off the lefty. Ball's away from him, kind of hooks it. But with the shift on, that's an easy play. And the A's expect him to hit the ball that way. So they play their shortstop over there at second base into left field, into right field to make that play. And they move the third baseman Chapman over to play shortstop because they don't expect Joey to hit the ball there anyway. Not that they're worried about Matt Chapman fielding a ball at shortstop and throwing somebody out. Talked about him in the open to the show. What a brilliant young fielder he is at third base.
Yeah, you get the sense by the way he plays third base, you could play him anywhere on the infield.
Manny Machado played third base for a long time, and now he's a terrific shortstop.
Yeah,
The thing you really like with Chapman to watch is watch him throw. He's got one of those arms that stands out from third base like Pudge's arm used to stand out behind the plate. I mean, most third basemen have nice arms, but every now and then you see a guy like Chapman, and when he throws, you go, whoa, that's something a little bit different.
Chirinos goes down looking. Second strikeout so far tonight for Minaya. 2 away.
Let's take a look at it. Lucroy sets up inside, and the pitch comes inside right at the top of the strike zone, inside part of the strike zone. Robinson felt that was up and in. Pitch tracks showed that it was a strike.
Well, he'll have a chance to discuss that at greater length with Larry Vanover next inning when he's out there catching.
Yeah, that's always the dilemma for the catcher when he hits. You argue balls and strikes.
Both that bunt to third, and he beats it out. Chapman, even with his great arm, well, he had to come a long way to get it, and he could not beat Odor. So Rugi with a bunt single, and we've seen this with a little more regularity of late.
Yeah, and why not? He's good at it, and especially against a left-handed pitcher. You bunt it down the third base line. It's a tough play for the lefty. Chapman has to come a long way to get it. And when you see the angle that he's trying to throw this ball from, that's a very difficult throw even for a guy with a great arm. That play just wasn't going to be made. So if you can bunt like Rugi can bunt, you know, you should try it 20, 25 times a year, and if you're successful, whatever, 10, 15 times, there could be the difference between hitting 240 and 265. 265 and 290, 280. Not to mention with 2 outs, you get on with a base hit, maybe steal second base, and score on a hit. Make something happen.
Well, his average has been on the ascent lately. Odor has been doing a good job in using that bunt a little more often. And to your point, Tom, he looks really comfortable doing it. He's been good at it. That was a little push bunt the other way. We saw him drag one on the road in Anaheim to the first base side for a hit. He can do it either way. You know, the power's there and will be. There's no reason that has to go away just because you bunt every now and then.
No. And Minaya really didn't jump all over that play. Took him a while to get there, to the point where it looked like Chapman actually called him off.
2-0 to Shields, and it is inside ball 3.
The ball is bunted halfway between the line and the pitcher's mound. I thought when the ball was bunted that the pitcher was going to be able to make the play. Maybe not easily, but with time to spare. When you saw where Chapman was, way over toward shortstop, and then saw how far he had to come after it, if you can make the third baseman field the ball, it's almost impossible for him to throw you out.
And you saw in that last replay that Rugi was running at near elite speed in the dirt, and DeShields will take the walk. So Odor goes to second base. 2-men aboard as we turn the lineup over. Well, tomorrow night is Texas Chili Company $1 hot dog night. Rangers and A's final game of this quick 2-game series is 7:05 first pitch. Come on out to the ballpark. Enjoy ballpark hot dogs for just $1 each. Go to TexasRangers.com for tickets or call 972-RANGERS. We'll see you out here tomorrow night. So I've asked CJ this question, Tom, if really pressed, just course of the night, right? No time frame involved here, but over the course of the night, if you really wanted to see what you could accomplish, how many dogs do you think you could put away?
Like if I planned for it all day long?
Yeah, maybe skip
came there.
lunch.
I guess they're average size hot dogs.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, if I had to, I think I could eat 6, but I would feel much more comfortable saying 4.
I think.
And even if I wasn't trying to prove how many I could eat, I doubt I would try to eat more than 2. I would probably have 2 hot dogs would be just right for me.
It's funny how that's just sort of a psychological limit. Most people I think would put 2. 2 is good. But I think if you really pushed.
I don't know. I've never done it, and I'm never going to do it.
Can't talk you into that one. 2 walk the first time up. Hammers this one out to center field. But Canna was deep and has plenty of room. The inning is over, and the Rangers leave 2 more. We've played 2 complete. A's lead 2-0. Hitters for Oakland, Chad Pinder will lead things off here. Our Kubota power stats tonight. Now, they are not specific to Matt Moore, but you can see what Rangers pitchers did on that road trip. 4.7 strikeouts per walk. And this one fouled away. It's 1-1, and that was the second best ratio in all of baseball during that span. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're striking out a ton. Doesn't necessarily mean you're walking very, very few, but what it does mean is that the ratio is certainly tilted in the right direction for you. And the Rangers have done a really good job, I think, generally speaking, of just not walking guys. Moore's allowed 4 hits so far. And the count 2-2 on Pinder. Matt gave up a couple of runs in the first inning, had a leadoff hit in the second, but didn't allow him to advance. The 2-2. Ground ball, second base. Odor from a knee. Takes care of Pinder, 1 away.
Well, Pinder's had a hard time getting the barrel of the bat on the ball. And Matt's done a great job of getting his fastball in on his fists. Last time up, he hit a little pop up to right field that Nomar made a nice play on. And that time, the ball got way in on the handle of the bat. And it's just a soft, routine ground ball that Ruby turns into an out. A good location for the 2 fastballs to Pinder.
Lowry with a flare out to right, and Mazzaro loping in makes the catch, 2 away.
He was ready to do the same thing on that one that he did on Pinder's.
Time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in with Dana Larson. All right, yeah, thanks, Dana. Chris Davis takes inside for a ball.
Well, that guy's just a machine.
He is.
He hit all those home runs for the Tigers and went over to Arizona and hit more home runs. Free agent. Red Sox, everybody knew that he was a perfect fit for the Red Sox. He's exactly what the Red Sox knew, but Red Sox held off. I think trying to keep the price down as much as they could, but in the end they spent what it took to get him. There wasn't much doubt on that, in that lineup, in that ballpark, with that team, that he was going to put up huge power numbers.
Yeah, what a difference he's made for them too. I mean, they had a real tough time with home runs last year. Now suddenly that's a potent offense. And there's ball 4. Davis takes the walk on 4 pitches here with 2 out.
Well, you don't want to walk anybody necessarily, but 2 outs and nobody on. Chris Davis, what he's done against the Rangers. 19 home runs in 45 games, even though the Rangers have cooled him off a little bit this year. Not too upset watching him walk with nobody on and 2 outs, based on the rockets that he's hit against the Rangers, including an RBI double in this game. Line shot off the wall, short hop the wall in left field. There's a good curveball.
Well, dangerous hitter here too in Matt Olson. Nowhere near with the history that Davis has had, certainly against the Rangers. Davis not likely to be running anywhere. And this one fouled away. The count 0-2. Oakland does not run very aggressively, and they have not run with much success this year. So that just has not been a part of the equation for them. And Davis hasn't even attempted a steal yet this year. Bob Melvin content to let his guys get on and then swing for the fences. And to his credit, it's worked. They're 2 games over 500 and only 6.5 games back of division leading Seattle. And there's a strikeout of Olson. The inning is done, and so the A's leave a man. We've played 2.5, 2-0 Oakland. When we come back, Nomar Mazara will be due in the middle of things. Kiner Falefa, Mazara, and Beltre when we return. Here we go now, bottom of the 3rd inning, and Isaiah Kiner Falefa takes a strike. Isaiah walked in the 1st inning. Rangers have drawn 3 walks already tonight. Count 0-2 on Kiner Falefa. And as far as Sean Manaea goes, That is now a season high tying 3 walks that he has allowed. We said early on, maybe not the same Mania that we saw earlier in the season. He was very good when we saw him back in April. That was April 4th. He went 8 innings, allowed a run on 3 hits. Isaiah spoils that one, and the count stays 0-2. Chopper second base. Nice easy hop out there for Lowry, and he throws out Kiner Falefa for out number 1. 1 away, and we check in again with Emily Jones.
Progressive fan of the game time, and this may be our tiniest and sweetest. This is baby Scarlett Raymond. She is only 3 months old. She's not going to be with us for much longer, and so her parents decided to make her a bucket list of things you wanted to do with her. And at the top of that list was a Rangers game. Why did you decide here, and why the bucket list?
Well, we just know that every little girl has to go to a Rangers game, and so we wanted to bring her here, but we've been told that she just has a few weeks left with us, but I mean, it's up to the Lord how long she's with us, but we are just so excited to be able to mark this off and let her live it up.
We are glad that you're here. We're glad that she's here, and our prayers are with you and your sweet girl.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Nomar in a whole 1 and 2 now. Nomar flying out in the first inning. Rangers with just the 1 hit so far, the bunt single by Rougned Odor. Mazara pops this one up. Shallow left field. And Simeon right there, 2 away. And that brings up Adrian Beltre. I guess I hadn't really thought of it, Tom, but Beltre came back off the disabled list on that last road trip. And so it was great. It was good to see him back out in the field. Of course, the DH. And here we are back home. It just crossed my mind. When was the last time we saw him here? It had to be
I couldn't tell
early
you.
May, right? I mean, he went on the disabled list on May 13th, but we were on the road in Houston.
Yeah.
So this is Beltre's first game back here since, I guess, May 9th, and that finale against the Detroit Tigers. Ground ball shortstop. Simeon right there for it, and throws out Beltre, and it completes a 1-2-3 bottom of the 3rd inning. Well, that's a 2-0 ball game, but Matt Moore starting to settle in just a little bit. He's ready to go back to work in the 4th. To work here in the top of the 4th inning. Well, Moore has settled in a little bit since the 1st. In the 1st inning, got 2 quick fly ball outs. Went 0-2 to Jed Lowry before the A's went double single to score the first 2 runs of the game. Since then, both starters have really done a nice job. And Chapman swings 1-0, pops this one up. Right side of the infield. Gallo with the start at first base today, and he makes the putout 1 away. Well, thanks to T-Mobile, fans can receive a 20% discount on tickets in the all-you-can-eat seats in the home run porch on Fridays. Get your tickets in the all-you-can-eat seats for this Friday night when the Astros are in town. Part of this Silver Boot series. Use coupon code T-Mobile at TexasRangers.com/specials. Chopper right back to the mound. Moore wisely lets it go. Bare hand Odor. Nice throw to first. And Gallo dug it out for the 2nd out of the inning.
Well, a nice play by Ruby. He timed it. He made the play, and looked like he did a somersault after he made the throw. That's some athletic ability right there. Matt couldn't get it. It's over his head, so he lets it go. He doesn't want to take a chance on deflecting it. Brings his glove down, leaves it up to Ruge, and watch Ruge after he throws it. Nice play all the way around. Joey had to dig it. Here goes Ruge. Well, we can't quite see him, but as he threw the ball, he went face first, tucked his head, and did a somersault. Nice pick by Joey Gallo at first base. Great play. We've seen a couple of nice Ranger defensive plays in this game. Don't get much better for an infielder charging a ball than that one by Ruge, and they don't get much better than the one that Delino caught smashing into the center field wall. Well, behind Matt Moore, two really nice defensive plays early in the game.
2-0 pitch to Piscotty, fouled away. 2-1. Oh, we've seen this team that last series in Anaheim made some really nice defensive plays. Those things very encouraging. I'll tell you, Kiner Falefa on a daily basis has been turning in really good plays at third. Continues to be one of the real bright spots and fun stories for us here in 2018. Two-two, and that's fouled away. Piscotty robbed of the extra bases then in the second inning. Average at 228 for the year. And he's coming off a down year last year. He struggled in St. Louis. Fouls that one off and stays alive. He's on a contract though for a couple more years with Oakland. He's going to be an A for a while. And they like him, especially out in right field. Does a nice job for them. Gives Bob Melvin a steady name that he can put in that spot every day. On these teams where you have so many movable parts, it seems, which is more and more the story. Sometimes it's nice to have a guy that you know where he'll be and what he'll do for you night in and night out.
Yeah, if you're a young player and you're playing high school ball and you're playing in college and you have designs on being a big league player, being versatile, well, he knew he couldn't make the play, so he let it roll. That's a smart play. Turned out it didn't make any difference. The ball stayed fair. The only problem you would have is if it rolled down the left field line for a double instead of a single. But Isaiah, as he charges this ball right about now, said, even if I field this, I'm not going to be able to throw it in time to get the runner. In this case, Stephen Piscotty. I'm going to let it go, and maybe it'll go foul. That's my best chance. Didn't go foul. It didn't matter. It was going to be hit anyway. And now he's got to scoot back after it to make sure it is a single. But anyway, if you're a young player, being able to play all the infield positions, maybe be able to add catch to your repertoire, to be versatile. Nowadays at the big league level, it's such an asset, and virtually every team has a number of guys, not just one, usually more than one, who can play a lot of positions. In the A's case, Canha has played all the outfield positions as well as first base. Pinder has played
everywhere.
Yeah, every infield position except first, and every outfield position. So he's played 6 different positions. We know that Kiner Falefa is groomed to be a catcher as well in the minor leagues. He's played second, he's played third. You know he can play a little bit of shortstop. Joey Gallo can go third, first, left field, center field, right field if he had to. A lot of versatility. And it's not just these 2 teams, it's every team in baseball now. In a lot of cases, if you have 8 relievers and 5 starters, that only leaves room for 3 in the American League, 3 extra men. And so those 3 extra men, if one of them can only play the outfield and one of them can only catch and one of them can only play the middle infield, it doesn't give your manager much maneuverability.
Lucroy pops this one back behind the plate. 1-2 the count. Jonathan Lucroy, 9th place hitter. Look at the splits for Lucroy against left-handers, hitting 157. He hasn't had a hit in his last 15 at bats rather against lefties. Flied out in the second inning today, and that doesn't figure. Normally, when you think of the lefty-righty matchups, a right-handed hitter ostensibly would fare better against a lefty, would feel more comfortable.
You can tell Matt's got an effective fastball in this game just by the way the A's have fouled off so many pitches. Can't quite, in a lot of cases, catch up with a fastball. They've hit a few balls hard and they've caught up with it occasionally. But there's been a number of swings and misses at his fastball, and a lot of swings where they haven't been able to do anything but foul it straight back.
A little high, 2-2. So, Tom, I had somebody reach out recently and ask me, say, hey, could you guys go into a little more? And it's probably not the right time with 2 outs and 2 strikes on that whole lefty righty, the matchups, the subtleties of a lefty against a lefty, the righty against a righty, whatever. Why managers tend to want to do that. Why hitters would have better success against an opposite arm thrower. That kind of stuff. I mean, it does tend to play out that way. This one line just over Profar and into left field. And Piscotty will head to third base. They have him on the corners.
A well hit ball by Luke Roy, who has been struggling against lefties, but not on that pitch. That ball he drilled just over Jurickson's head into left field. Yeah, Dave, without having maybe a lot of time this inning, we could get into it a little bit more, but I think if you just wanted to simplify it, if you're a right-hand hitter against a left-hand pitcher and vice versa, lefty against a righty, the big difference is the breaking ball comes in toward you instead of away from you. And I think in most cases, it's not always the case, but in most cases a hitter would prefer to try to hit a curveball that was coming toward him, a slider that's coming toward him, rather than one that's breaking down and away. That I think is the best way to simplify it. And a lot of people would say left-hand hitters just don't face that many left-handed pitchers, and therefore they don't get as much practice against them, especially in the minor leagues. And so when you get to the big leagues, they're just not quite as adept lefty hitting a lefty as a right-hander would be, and a lot of them end up getting platooned. But if a guy's a good hitter like Nomar Mazara, even though in his first couple of years he might not have been lighting up left-handed pitching, you just stay with him, because there's nothing about Nomar that would lead you to believe that he can't hit left-handed pitching. In fact, this year he's already hit 6 home runs against left-handed pitching. In his first 2 years, he only hit 3. So that's just a matter of a young hitter making some adjustments, getting some on-the-job training, and learning how to do it. There's some left-hand hitters that are just hopeless against left-handed pitching because they just can't stay in and keep their shoulder in against a left-handed breaking ball. But if you're a good hitter, you can hit left-handed pitching. That's not an issue. And I think for a lot of hitters, if they're in a good streak, swinging the bat well, it doesn't matter whether the guy's a lefty or a righty. But I think essentially, if you wanted to boil it down to the lowest common denominator, it would be that the breaking ball comes in instead of going away.
Full count now on Simeon with runners on the corners. So part of that, though, I mean, we see a breaking ball come at a guy, right, and the knees buckle and he looks silly. It's a matter, I guess, maybe of just being comfortable too.
Sure. I can go back to Ruben Sierra. When Ruben Sierra signed, he was a right-handed hitter, and he tended to step toward third base, which made him susceptible to right-handed sliders. And Rudy Jaramillo at the time was our rookie league manager. Foul ball. Got to have a foul ball to finish this story. Go foul.
This one down the left field line. Foul.
Ask for it and you will get it.
Yes.
And I can remember calling down to Rudy and saying, you know, I'm reading the game reports and they say what a bright prospect Ruben is, but he's having trouble right-hander against a right-handed slider. Is switch hitting something that you would consider? And Rudy said, you know, as a matter of fact, we've been doing it for the last week. And as soon as he picked up the bat left-handed, he looked like a left-handed hitter, and we're breaking it out today in the game. And then the rest was history. Ruben became one of the bright young players as a switch hitter. The reason being because now the right-handed slider came into him instead of away.
High pop up out into short right field. Odor ranging way out there, and he puts it away, and it's another scoreless inning for Matt Moore. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Rangers trailing 2-0. Back to the communities where we live and work by partnering with the Boys and Girls Clubs at the Metroplex. All week, Fox Sports Southwest employees are participating with daily mentoring and support activities with area clubs. And tonight, we welcome a group from the Arlington Boys and Girls Club to enjoy the game and root for the Rangers. A special night tonight. Great to have everybody out here with us. As Jurickson Profar leads off the 4th inning. It'll be Profar, Gallo, and Chirinos. Two and 0. Manaya has been pitching from behind quite a bit in this one so far. The Rangers haven't found that big hit off of him yet. Now, this is one of those where you're watching a guy, you know he's a good pitcher. We have seen him in the past pitch very well for Oakland, but you feel like this is a guy playing with fire, and that sooner or later it could really blow up on him. But at some point, somebody on the Rangers side is going to have to deliver that big hit. He's been behind on 8 of the 14 hitters he has faced. And now it's a full count on Profar. And I am also, this is the 5th 3-ball count so far tonight. He's walked a season high 3. He's allowed just the bunt single to Rougned Odor. Chopper, second base, and Lowry with plenty of time throws out Profar, 1 away. Which gives us a moment for a word from our friends at Southwest Kia.
$250 down, $250 a month or less on select new Kias in stock only at southwestkia.com.
1 out, and here comes Joey Gallo. And the other side of that, of course, Tom, is that sometimes guys wobble a little bit in those first few innings, and if you let them get away with it, they can settle in.
Well, yeah, I agree, Dave, and I think we remarked on that. When you have a chance like the Rangers did in the first inning when he walked the first 2 hitters, you hope you can capitalize and maybe turn it into a big inning. To Manaya's credit, he was able to worm his way out of that inning.
This ball hit hard out to right field, but Piscotty is there to bring it in. And there are 2 away. Gallo with a look on his face like, come on.
Yeah, it's a tough start to the game for Joey. His first time up, he hit a hard ball to the second baseman, who was pulled over and 8 feet out into right field with a shift. And on this one, he hit it even better. This ball he hit right on the barrel of the bat, just didn't get it up in the air enough. Piscotty's able to roam over a few steps and make the play. So 0 for 2, but 2 well-hit balls. With his strength, kind of balls that if you just get the ball launched a little bit higher, then good things are going to happen. And the other side of it is, if you keep hitting the ball like that, good things are going to happen anyway, because eventually those hard hit balls will find a hole.
Little high, 1-1 to Chirinos, who struck out looking in the second inning. 6 in a row retired. This ball belted down the left field line, and it is gone. And there it is, the home run by Chirinos, his 8th of the year, and the Rangers finally break through. It's a 2-1 game.
When Robinson hits a ball on the barrel of the bat, that ball jumps off his bat. He's got above average power. It was one of those balls when he gets a hold of it, there's no doubt where it's going to end up. It looked like a high changeup that stayed on the inside part of the plate. Tried to turn it over and make it go down and away. Instead, it stays right in the hitter zone, and Robinson launched it to left field. And that's the kind of ball that the minute it's hit, you know that ball's gone. Tochi raised his hand the second the ball came off the bat.
404 feet. Left the bat at 103 miles per hour. That was a rocket by Chirinos. So a 2-1 game, and now the 1-0 pitch to Odor. It's in there for a strike. A's not adjusting defensively against Odor just because of the bunt single last inning, or last time up. Usually will take more than just one moment like that. But you know that's in the back of Chapman's mind over there at third base, or third stop, whatever he's playing. Two one. And that one the other way down the left field line, but up into the seats. So a birthday home run for Robinson Chirinos. And his reward, put on a lot of extra equipment on a 93-degree night. Stay warm.
It feels a lot easier putting it on when you've just launched a home run.
2-2 and a bouncer right side, and nobody at first. Odor beats it out. Olsen had to come off to make the play, and Manaea for the second time tonight slow to react off the mound, and in both cases it results in Odor with a base hit.
Yeah, he looks like a guy that if you're a good punter you'd want to give it a shot. And kind of came, his right leg comes over, and by the time it hits the ground he's really not in a great fielding position. And while he's moving pretty well right there, the start that he got just never allowed him any chance to beat Rugi to the bag. A bunt single and an infield chopper for a hit. That will help your batting average. Look at Rugi's 2 hits. The bunt that Manaea couldn't get to. A little chopper that Rugi beat him to the bag. Rugi's 2 for 2. And then look at Joey Gallo, who's hit a smash to second, a line shot to right, and he's 0 for 2.
Two 2-0 to DeShields, who walked in the second inning. Milano made the spectacular defensive play earlier tonight. Back in the top of the second inning on a ball hit by Stephen Piscotty. Hits this ball out to center field. Canna, a little extra room out there, and he makes the catch. The inning is done, but the Rangers are on the board. A birthday bash for Robinson Chirinos, and it's a 2-1 game.
Half of the fourth inning on his birthday. Nonetheless, it is the first home run by a Ranger on his birthday since July 1st, 2011. Guys, can you guess who hit the home run that night?
I know the answer, so Tom, I have to pull myself out of this one.
All right, well, I don't know the answer, so I'll wait to find out.
I can tell you this much: it was not Chad Pinder who just rolled out to shortstop, and that is out number 1 here with the 5th inning.
Another good pitch by Matt Moore, who got the fastball. He's had an effective fastball for the most part, other than the back-to-back bats in the first inning. He's been able to do this with his fastball, and that's pounded on the inside part of the plate to the right-hand hitters and get a lot of balls off the handle. Some of them have been foul balls that have been fouled straight back, but still off the handle. And a lot of the fair balls have been weakly hit. A couple of pop-ups to right field, a ground ball to second. That Pinder hit, and then that little ground ball there to shortstop that Pinder hit. So pretty good pitches and pretty effective fastball for the most part tonight for Matt. See if he can keep it up. Talked earlier about the key is not just showing glimpses of it in a game, but be able to maintain it from the first pitch to the 95th or 100th pitch.
Well, his 2-strike offering to Lowry. Bouncer third. Nice play again by Kiner Falefa going to his left. And he throws out Lowry 2 away. Well, attention. Class of 2018. Come celebrate with fellow high school, college, kindergarten, or grad school students. We host the first ever Class of 2018 theme night tomorrow night. Graduates will be recognized on the field before the game, so get here early. All 2018 grads with a Class of 18 theme night ticket will receive a custom Texas Rangers Class of 18 cap, complete with a graduation tassel. So get your tickets at texasrangers.com/theme night. It's a great idea. Tom, you want the answer to the trivia question?
I do.
Last home run on a birthday. This one hit well out to left field by Davis, and that one is gone. Chris Davis doubled in a run earlier, walked, and has added a home run to the resume, and he makes it a 3-1 Oakland lead.
You know, in the third inning, Pinder and Lowry both made outs to start the inning, and Davis came up with nobody on and 2 outs. Matt pitched him carefully and walked him. And we remarked in that particular case, it's not a terrible walk as hot as this guy's been. Same situation. I'm sure Matt was trying to throw that curveball down and out of the strike zone, but it hung up there, and Davis took advantage of it and launched it into the seats in left field. So a double, a home run, and a walk.
Olson now, and he takes one up and away. All right, Nelson Cruz, July 1st of 2011. So Chris Davis adds to his legend here against the Rangers. Most home runs since 2016 against one team, or against the Rangers. He has 19, or rather 6 more than George Springer. But maybe more notably at the bottom there, you see that's most by any hitter against any single opponent in Major League Baseball.
The other thing he's done in that amount of time, unless
bouncer knocked down by Kiner Falefa, but Olson's going to reach.
Unless Stanton's hit a home run tonight since 2016, he and Stanton are tied with 99 home runs, the most home runs in all of baseball. Unless you're familiar with the American League West, even though you're a baseball fan, you probably didn't know that about Chris Davis. It's a second hit for Matt Olson to the left side of the infield. Only one infielder over there. Shot one into left field in the first inning for RBI, and that time with 2 outs and nobody on, gets another one.
So runner on here, Chapman, the hitter, and pops this one up, foul ground. But the wind will take it into the seats.
Another one of those fastballs that Matt got on the inside part of the plate and jammed the hitter.
Chapman 0 for 2. He's flat out to left, popped up to first. In the top of the 5th inning, it's 3-1 Oakland. Another pop-up, and this will be playable for Odor. The inning is over, but the A's add a run halfway there tonight. Oakland leading it 3-1. And by GMC. Visit your local GMC dealer. Well, bottom of the 5th inning tonight. And it's a 3-1 Oakland lead. Just a quick 2-game series. We'll wrap it up tomorrow. Rangers still with time to come back in this one. It's the top of the order. Shin-Soo Choo takes off the plate. It's 2-0. Rangers got a run last inning. The home run by Robinson Chirinos. Choo has already reached tonight. He walked back in the first inning. That's 21 straight in which he has reached base safely. Now his 11-game hitting streak still on the line here. Taken all the way, it's 3-1. Takes another strike. So forcing Minaya to prove that he can throw a strike. Choo will be protecting here. And this one out to short. The third baseman Chapman makes the catch for out number 1. Time for Chevy game break. Let's say hi to Dana Larson.
Third baseman Isaiah Kiner Falefa.
Yeah, how about that? The Mariners, by the way, all alone atop the division and trying to create a little space between themselves.
You know, if you've gone a couple of weeks without checking the standings, you might be a little surprised when you look at the AL West and see without Robinson Cano that the Mariners have caught and gone past the Astros, and in Houston tonight they're beating them pretty well.
So 1-game lead in the division and hoping to add to that. On top currently 7-1. Kiner Falefa lifts this one out into right field. Scotty waiting patiently, and there are 2 gone. So at the top of the broadcast, I mentioned that the Rangers have gone 7-6 since May 22nd, and that's the second best record in the division since that time. The team with the best record, obviously Seattle, they've gone 10-3 during that same time. But they've just been steadily chipping away quietly out west there. Won 4 in a row, 8 of their last 10.
They've had a couple of pitchers that we probably don't know a whole lot about step up and do a nice job for them. Guys picking up the slack. Mitch Haniger, middle of the order guy, has been doing a job for him. It's hard to imagine over the course of the whole season that there won't be times where it shows up in the win and loss column that they miss Cano, but right now they're winning pretty well without him.
They are indeed, and now a 10 pitch bottom of the 5th inning by Sean Manayan as he goes 1, 2, 3, and now
Post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
there you see the score, 3-1 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. We'll also see the bottom of the order for Oakland. Mark Canha, Stephen Piscotty, and Jonathan Lucroy. And Matt Moore out to do a little more work here in the 6th. Matt has had 14 at bats today that have taken 3 or fewer pitches. He has 4 1-pitch outs, so he's had a couple of very efficient moments tonight. Gets that one in there. It's 1-1 to Canha.
I'd love to see him have a quick inning and get into the 7th inning. I'm talking before the ball game started that the key for Matt is to maintain quality stuff for 100 pitches. And so far in this game, he's been doing that. Hung the curveball that Davis hit for a home run. Davis hit a double off the wall, the key hit in the 2-run first inning. But for the most part, he has been very effective with his fastball.
High fly ball. Shields to his left. 1 away. Well, this Father's Day, come on out to the ballpark. Colorado Rockies, Texas Rangers. That's the game on June 17th. And the first 15,000 fans will get a Rangers reversible bucket hat, courtesy of Fox Sports Southwest and Southwest Airlines. Get your tickets at texasrangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Piscotty fouls off strike 1. Now, I'm not real sure. I should go ahead and double check this on Matt Moore. There's an odd pattern that is surfacing here tonight with the way things have played out for him. And for some reason, I feel like it's something we've seen a lot this year, and that is 2-out damage. Now, he's given up 8 hits today. 7 of them have come with 2 outs. And I mean, maybe that's
not just 2 outs, but 2 outs and nobody on.
Yeah, that's a good point too. 1-1. It's fouled away for strike 2.
In this game, he's thrown 62% fastballs. Coming into the game, it was more like 52, 53%. So he's throwing 10% more fastballs tonight than normal. And I'm sure the reason is because he feels it, he's locating it, and he's having pretty good success with it. There's another one right in on the fist. Harmless foul ball, but if that ball was put in play, it wouldn't have gone anywhere. Piscotty hit that ball fouled that ball right off the handle. So it's not just occasionally getting the fastball in, it's pretty much consistently having been able to do it through 5 1/3 anyway.
This is 90th pitch of the night. Another foul ball by Piscotty. So here you go. Now these are splits just for this season, but opposing batters are hitting .369 against him with 2 outs, and have an OPS on base plus slugging of 1,045. And on the one hand you say, like, wow, that's it, that's crazy, right, with 2 outs. But it's a little bit worse with 1 out. As that one just misses low, 2-2. Where he has put up really good numbers is obviously to start innings with nobody out. He's really good, but for some reason, as the inning wears on and he gets an out, might have a team backed up a little bit. That's where he tends to get hurt. It's a 2-2, swung on and missed, and he strikes out Piscotty. Right, time for the Southwest Airlines player breakdown.
Again, watching Matt tonight with his fastball. There's one off the handle, little ground ball to second base. There's a ball down and away that hit right off the end of the bat. Nice defensive play by Ruge. Ball that the hitter had to reach for. Another fastball on the inside part of the plate. That one right there wasn't a strike, but that's what he's been doing. 91, 93, solid velocity with good location. It's allowed him to pitch a nice game so far.
Trying to get through 6 complete, and goes 2-0 on Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy 1 for 2. I talked about it earlier, but he's had a tough time against lefties this year. An unusually tough time, especially for a right-handed hitter. Takes a strike. Moore's longest outing this year in terms of innings has been 7. That was a start he made at Tampa Bay. That was a real good one. He gave up 1 unearned run in his 7 innings of work that day down in Tampa. But outside of that, he has not had a game in which he has gone 6 complete. And he misses high. There's ball 4 to Jonathan Lucroy. 2 out, nobody on, and he loses them. And you can see by the way he's asking that question, he didn't think it was up.
It just looked like they were pretty close. Well, you look at that box strikes right there, and that ended up being a walk, but there was 1 strike right down the middle of the plate, and then 3 that were close. That borderline pitches. You see him called balls, you see him called strikes. In that particular at bat, Matt had 3 of them, and all of them were called balls. But three close pitches. Not like it was an at bat where he was wild right around the plate. Do some quality pitches, just didn't get the calls.
Southwest's bullpen live look. Tony Barnett looks like he may be already ready out there in the bullpen, just in case. Obviously the goal here, get more through this inning. Marcus Semien, who he will deal with now, is 0 for 3 against him. Moore has given his team a shot here. 3-1 our score in the 6th. And a bouncing ball, shortstop. Profar will go the short way to second. They force out Lucroy, and this inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Moore gets through 6 innings. This is 3-1.
Trailing the A's, Adrian Beltre up to bat for Texas, and a big homestand as this bad boy is available on Friday. But it's not a giveaway. You actually have to purchase a special ticket. Of course, this is Beltre, the giraffe from the Fort Worth Zoo, who was named after Adrian Beltre after he got his 3,000th hit. And you have to go to TexasRangers.com/theme nights in order to get a special ticket that will get you one of these guys when you come to the game on Friday, June 8th. So there he is, Beltre, the bobblehead giraffe.
That is pretty cool. I tell you, there's no.
Come right down to it. There's a lot of kids that are going to think that's the best bobblehead ever.
Yeah. Yeah. One of them might be sitting here.
I've got a grandson that's going to love one of those.
1 out on the Beltre fly out to center, and here is Jurickson Profar. And he takes a strike from Minaya. Profar 0 for 2. Well, Minaya has been stingy tonight, despite the handful of walks he's allowed. He continues to hold the Rangers in check. Just a run on 3 hits. The run coming on the Robinson-Chirinos home run. Minaya's 26 years old. And Profar hits this ball well out to center field, and it is gone. Just got over the wall in center field. Second solo shot tonight for the Rangers, and it's a 1-run game.
Well, earlier in the game, Dave, you mentioned that Jurickson hadn't hit a lot of home runs, but that he'd had 18 doubles in the top 10 in the league. That looked like it might be a double off the wall, but Jurickson put a little extra into that one. Showed the kind of power that he has, and also shows how well he's been swinging the bat against left-handed pitching this year. Drives it over the 404 sign in left center field.
All right, some added life to the party now, and Joey Gallo, big swing and a miss, strike 1. So that one, 419 feet for Profar. That was not a cheapie.
No, put a charge in it.
Gallo, meanwhile, is grounded out and lined out. Gallo really smoked a ball in the 4th inning. Piscotty caught ranging to his right. And it was an unusual, I guess, swing or ball flight for Gallo. We're used to those moon shots, and it was a low lining laser. In the dirt, 2-2. Full count. So 4 hits for the Rangers tonight, and 2 of them have been home runs. The other 2 by Odor, a bunt single and an infield single. Foul tip. Of course, Gallo has been known to hit a few tape measure blows himself, and this Saturday, the first 15,000 fans to the ballpark get a Joey Gallo tape measure bobblehead, courtesy of Dairy Max. Astros in town to take on the Rangers, 6:15 game, and you can pick up this one-of-a-kind bobblehead. TexasRangers.com for your tickets. In the dirt, and that's ball 4. Gallo takes the walk.
Well, a nice walk against the left-handed pitcher, and in that at bat, he had some good swings too. Didn't connect. Had some good swings, worked the walk. There's the A's bullpen hard at work. Looks like that Ryan Dull out there, maybe.
And Danny Coulombe, and it looks like Dull will be the man coming on. Yeah, there he is. He appears right out of the wall. Dull coming on for the A's. It's a 1-run game. And by LG, OLED TV with AI VinQ. All right, a 1-run game here, bottom of the 6th inning. Got a man on for the Rangers. And this guy, Ryan Dull, coming on to pitch for Oakland.
Yeah, look at the numbers for Ryan. His ERA's up there a little bit. He's given up 3 home runs in 14 innings. Not many walks, pretty good number of strikeouts. But so far, opponents early in the year are hitting .321 against him.
First pitch swinging, and Chirinos sends it foul out of play for strike 1. Robbie homered in the 4th inning. It was his 8th of the year. 1 for 2 tonight. Ryan Dull, meanwhile, a guy who has allowed 7 runs in his last 7 appearances. So a little bit of a scuffle right now, and his 1-strike pitch very high. He was sit down to AAA Nashville, and then they had an injury the very next day. He was called right back up again. It's his second go-round with the big club this year. And comes way inside, almost got Chirinos. 2-1. So he inherits a base runner in the 6th. And this is a pretty big spot right here for the Rangers. Gallo, who can run a little bit over there at first base. You get to the late innings with Oakland, and not maybe what you're expecting to hear, but their 7, 8, 9 setup right now in Oakland might be as good and stable as any bullpen in the big leagues. Blake Trinan, their closer, has been basically perfect for a month. The setup man, Lou Trevino, has been huge. There's a swing and a miss. Runner goes, and the throw down there gets Gallo. And that caught stealing, a huge out.
Robinson swings through it. The throw is a little bit high and toward the first base side of the bag, but it's there in plenty of time. Lucroy got rid of it quickly. Even though it's not a perfectly accurate throw, it's there in plenty of time. Get Joey Gallo.
Now the 2-2, and Chirinos fights it off. We were talking earlier about how Oakland has not run very aggressively or successfully as a team, and they haven't controlled the running game all that well. So that was a big play right there by Lucroy to gun down Gallo. Bases are empty. And a bouncer at third base. Chapman going to show off his big arm, and it's there in plenty of time to get Chirinos. The inning is done, but the Rangers get a big run back. Jurickson Profar with a bomb to center field, and just like that, it's a 3-2 game.
Our Ford game summary. Matt Moore tonight with a good fastball, pitched a good solid ball game. 6 innings, gave up 3 runs from the Rangers. Had a couple of home runs tonight. Robinson Chirinos drilled one down the line in left field. Offensively for Oakland, Chris Davis does it again to the Rangers. He had a double and an RBI and then a home run. And then Robinson Chirinos makes it a 1-run ball game, 419 feet to left center field. And that's our Ford game summary. Alex Claudio will start the 7th inning for the Rangers.
Yeah, Claudio's going to get the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Oakland. So the lefty in a big spot here, trying to keep it a 1-run game, and the first pitch on the way to Chad Pender. He's taken low. Sharply fouled.
Nice play. That's why you bring your glove to the ballpark right there. Line shot, no problem.
Yeah, found a kid, didn't take him long.
A happy little girl. Thank you.
Fly ball out to right field, and that one drops in. Base hit. Splits both Mazzara and DeShields, and Pender second base. The leadoff double.
Second baseman, Jed Lowry.
It's a changeup. You can see the grip. Stays up though. That gives Pender a chance to hit it to right center field. Stayed up a ways, but he hit it right between the outfielders. No one could get to it.
So now Jed Lowry.
Same changeup. That one was taken for a strike.
It's wild to watch Claudio pitch. We've done it now for years. We keep watching him. It never ceases to amaze me when you see that pitch headed to the plate, and it just takes forever to get there. And this time Lowry stays back long enough to put a pretty good swing on it, but the Shield's able to run it down. Pender tags. He'll move to third, one away here in the 7th inning. And that'll give us a quick moment here for word from our friends at Kia.
At Kia, get America's best value backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
All right, one away. Another dangerous Chris Davis. That's how you make him less dangerous. You say, go away, go to first. So an intentional walk. And Davis is on.
Well, you get rid of a dangerous hitter by putting him at first base, brings up a lefty versus a lefty, and gives you a chance for a double play maybe. The Rangers are going to discuss their strategy right here. Doug Brocail out, all the infielders in.
Everybody in on this one. It's draft week in Major League Baseball. Always fun this time of year, Tom, and I'm sure for you brings back memories. 1966, the first-round draft pick of the Senators.
So much difference between the draft in 1966 and now, with it being on MLB Network and watching all the analysts analyzing all the different players.
You know,
back in 1966, you didn't have the slightest idea where you stood in the draft compared to the other players.
People might be saying, well, what's with Reggie Jackson? Why'd you put him up there? The A's first-round pick went second overall. Now, the Mets, as I understand it, right, the Mets, everybody assumed we're going to take Reggie Jackson, and you were likely to be the second pick then to Oakland. But for the Mets going a different direction, you may never have been a Ranger.
That's right. That's right. And, you know, do you think how baseball history was changed if the Mets took the best player in the draft? Was easily Reggie Jackson. Let's say the Mets took him. Well, the A's don't get him. And who knows if the A's win 3 straight World Series, 72, 73, 74. And you've got the miracle Mets who won the World Series. Who knows what they would have done if they had Reggie Jackson on their team after that. So that one draft choice, that one blunder back then by the Mets, they took a catcher, Steve Chilcott, who I'm sure was a nice prospect, but a high school catcher over Reggie Jackson, that was a bad move. And it really, that one pick, how it changed the course of baseball history.
Ground ball right field for Olson. It gets Pender to the plate and makes it 4-2 A's.
Well, this has been a good game for Matt Olson. He's had 3 hits in the game, 2 ground balls to the left side of the infield, 1 to drive in a run, and now against a left-hand pitcher, he pulls the ball on the ground into right field to pick up another run. So nice game for Olson.
Yeah, he knocks out Alex Claudio in this 7th inning. So 2 men on, 1 out, and the Rangers go deeper into that pin.
He pulls a ground ball into right field. So in the open to the show, we showed 2 tape measure shots that he hit in Kansas City. His last 3 home runs in the last 3 or 4 days have all gone over 450 feet. Tonight, it's been 3 ground balls through the infield that have picked up a couple of RBIs. Different kind of a game for Olson, but just as effective. Ouch.
Boy, first pitch from McClurk hit Chapman right in the small of the back rather. And so the bases are loaded.
Tough kid. Take a 96-mile-an-hour fastball right in the middle of the back, right off the back of his belt. Matt went to first base like nothing had happened, but he's got to be feeling that one. He has a pretty high pain tolerance.
Oh, I would guess Mark Canha now with the bases loaded, 1 out. So the numbers on Leclerc.
Yeah, pretty impressive numbers. Pitched 20 innings, 25 strikeouts in 20 innings. Opponents are only hitting 111 against him, and for a reliever, very important, no home runs. Pitched 20 innings without giving up a home run. So many times you don't have a margin for error when you come into a game. You can't afford to give up a home run.
Bouncer third, the play to the plate in time. And they force out Chris Davis, 2 away. Nicely done by Kiner Falefa.
You have a choice to make as the third baseman. Can you turn a double play and get out of the inning, or should you go home and make sure you get the lead runner? And in that particular case, Isaiah felt like the best shot was to get 1 out, get the runner at home. Don't take a chance on not being able to turn it and giving up another run.
So they're still loaded, but 2 out now, and Piscotty, who's been lifted for a pinch hitter. Dustin Fowler steps in. Oakland's been very good with the bases loaded this year, now 10 for 37. And Leclerc's first pitch, that one on the outside corner for a strike. The other thing Leclerc has done really well lately, especially, has been inheriting runners and stranding them. He had a couple of huge spots in that last road trip. One game in Seattle, one in Anaheim, where he came in second and third, 1 out, got out of both those innings with no harm done. You look overall this year, 18 of the 19 runners that he has inherited, well, they've all been stranded. Best percentage in the American League. Trying to do it again here. 1 to Fowler, and the foul tips it. Strike 2. Those are tough. We were talking about Chapman and the ball that went off his back. Sometimes a foul tip off the catcher can do just as much damage. Happy birthday. Nice job, by the way, by Larry Vanover, a veteran plate umpire. At the moment, had a few words with Chirinos and then said, you know, I'm gonna walk this one out. Give you a moment. Well, Leclerc readies in the 1-2, and we'll do it again.
Talked about Fowler before the game as well, one of the young players that the A's are trying to develop. Got him in a trade with the Yankees. Been swinging the bat pretty well. 6 for his last 12, hit a couple of home runs.
And he swings and misses here. Another strikeout, and Leclerc has done it again. Waves that magic wand and gets the Rangers out of trouble. We go to the bottom of the 7th. When we come back, Rougned Odor will lead things off for the Rangers. Delano DeShields will be next, and then it's back up top for Shinsu.
There's no hidden fee. That's transparency. And by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today. Ford is the best in Texas.
All right, 4-2 our score. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Yusmeiro Petit on here in the 7th for Oakland, and this is where they get to that spot now. They feel like they have 7th, 8th, and 9th inning pretty well defined. He's a big 7th inning man for them.
Yep, solid season for him too. A lot of innings, 37 innings. Not many walks, 5 walks in 37 innings. He'll come in, throw strikes, not overpowering. Comes in and pitches. Been a solid guy for them.
Petit gets Rougned Odor to start things off. Rugi has bunted for a hit. And then kind of a one-hand chop infield single over to the right side. It takes a strike here. Ooh, yeah, a little bit of a surprise to Rugi. 1-1. He thought that was maybe a little off the plate. So a good night for Odor so far. Petit gets him to swing at this one. Down the left field line. Holding up there pretty well toward the corner. Oh, wow, he just missed.
That looked like one of those balls that was going to slice 20 feet foul. It just stayed there. pretty harmless ball when he hit it. Turned out it was almost a home run. That pitch is probably not a strike, up and away. See where that thing comes down. Oh, wow. Boy, that's only a couple of feet foul.
Missed it by that much. 1-2. Now they made a number of defensive changes. Fowler stays in the game in center field, which pushed Canna over to left, which pushed Pinder over to right. Piscotti out of the game. So it's a new person at each position, basically. 2-2. And Odor very late, strikes out swinging, one away.
Center fielder, Delino.
And Petit, not overpowering as far as velocity goes, but pretty good movement on that two-seam fastball. See it start out somewhere near the plate, ends up a few inches outside. Tough for a hitter to gauge that that ball is going to be outside when you see where it is when you get ready to swing at it. You don't have a whole lot of time to make up your mind. That's why pitchers with that kind of movement can be so tough.
Delino trying to bunt, pops it up, and that one, a difficult play for everybody. Drops in for a base hit. Off the bat, you're thinking, oh, bummer. A bunting mistake. Instead, it turns out, I think, a beauty for Delino.
It almost looked like Petit was called off because it looked like he had this ball pretty well under control as he comes in for it, and then he stops to get out of the way. I'm not sure whether he decided he couldn't get to it, whether maybe Chapman called for it. Didn't look like Chapman was saying anything, but I thought Petit was going to catch it in the air. Instead, he peeled off, tried to let Chapman get it. He couldn't quite get to it.
So the second bunt single to go along with an infield hit tonight. Delino bluffs, and the pitch to Chu off the plate for a ball. Chu trying to keep his hitting streak going. 0 for 2 with that walk so far. Streak at 11 games for Chu. There's a quick toss over on to Shields, who has 10 steals this year, 8th most in the American League. Rangers down by a couple here in the 7th. Ooh, low strike call. 1-1.
Maybe a strike, but it certainly wasn't a good pitch to hit.
Delino with a pretty distinct lean over there at first. And Petit didn't like the look of it. I don't blame him. Opposing teams have stolen 43 bases against Oakland. That's 3rd most in Major League Baseball. And Delino, one of the better runners in the league, but not going. The pitch is outside. It's 2-1.
Tried to make the same pitch that he got the called strike on. That one tailed low and away.
Long hold, 2-1 pitch. That one in the air, out to left field. Canna going back, looks up. Gone! A home run! And Chu has tied the ball game.
Chu is really on a good streak, and it's not just a short streak. In over 160 at bats, that's quite a while. He's hitting over 290. He's walked 35 times. That's in the top 5 or 6 in the league. Got his average up, knocking on 270. he shows the kind of power that he's got. Not many left-hand hitters have the same kind of power to left field that he does. That was a pitch tailing away from him. Couldn't pull that ball. If you did, you just probably hit a ground ball to second base off the end of the bat. He stays with it and goes the other way with it. And drives it up over the scoreboard in left field. Huge hit for the Rangers, and Chu stays hot.
That extends that hitting streak to 12 games. And Kiner Falefa takes very high. Lucroy, you can see they're trying to calm Petit down. I haven't commented on Delano's hair yet today. It's working for him.
This works for him.
2-1 to count. His highlights a little severe, but 2-1. Fly ball center field. Boy, Fowler started in, but able to get back on it. And that is out number 2. All tied up here. 2 outs, 7th inning. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's welcome it again, Dana Larson. Impressive. The immaculate inning.
No, I didn't see the inning. So does it count if one of the balls is a foul ball? To me, if you want to say immaculate, it has to be something like 9 swings and misses, or a combination of takes and swings and misses. To be immaculate, there can be no contact whatsoever.
So the foul ball, in your mind, that's...
I mean, I don't know why I come up with another name for it, but I couldn't call it immaculate. Like, what if a guy hits a 450-foot ball that just curves foul down the left field line? I'm not calling that an immaculate inning.
It's a long strike, yeah.
I mean, I know that technically it counts because he got an immaculate inning, but I'm just saying, I'm not tossing around the word immaculate if you can get foul balls.
That is interesting. I've never thought of it that way. Never heard of it broken down that way. It's an interesting angle.
Every night.
And I think you might be onto something. I think you got something there. Yeah, it's got to be a swing and a miss, or just a called strike.
Yeah. I'd love to see the inning where it's 9 swings and misses.
That would be impressive.
That's really immaculate. Or I'd be just as good if it was 9 takes, to be honest with you. All of one, takes or swings. The guy's got to be throwing pretty good to throw 9 straight strikes and have all of them be taken. The third guy's got to swing it.
Yeah, absolutely. The first pitch.
Yeah, and just like the third guy should take one if everyone else has swung it 7 or 8 in a row.
2-2, and a chopper over the mound. Simeon is there, and that will end the inning. But the Rangers have tied it up. Shin-Soo Choo, opposite field power, a 2-run blast, and we're square at 4. Autograph session with Rangers pitcher Chris Martin at the Whataburger at 125 Sycamore School Road in Fort Worth. It starts at 10:30 in the morning. And while you're there, you can sign up to be a Whataburger Whata fan, where you can win tickets to an upcoming Rangers game as well as Whataburger for a year. Go to TexasRangers.com/appearances for more information. Well, Martin making an appearance tonight. He comes in this 8th inning with the game tied up, and he'll get the 9th place hitter.
Pretty even split between the fastball, the curveball, and the cutter. Mixes in an occasional changeup. Chris pitched a couple of years in Japan. Came back and signed with his hometown team. And he's been an effective late inning guy for the Rangers. A chance to pick up a win in this game. Tie game going into the 8th inning. Shut him out. Rangers score. Keone comes in, gets the save. Chris gets the win.
First order of business, take care of Jonathan Lucroy, and he fires one right in there for a strike. Lucroy with a hit and a walk, so a good night so far for him. Former Ranger, the everyday man behind the plate for Oakland. Shares the time with Bruce Maxwell, who was really going into the offseason was thought to be the frontline guy for Oakland, but when they were able to work things out and pick up Jonathan Lucroy, they felt like they had to do it. You take a look at the in-game box score for the A's today. A lot of production in the top slash middle of the order. Martin finds the bottom of the zone for a strike. 1-2 the count.
Miles an hour away at the bottom of the strike zone.
Big right-hander delivers. Slow roller, third base, charging Kiner Falefa. Had a little extra time, makes a good throw. Gets Lucroy one away here in the 8th inning.
Nice play. Charged it all the way, but still had time. Got under control and showed off his arm strength to make that play. Oh, good start to the 8th inning for Chris. That's how you do it. Like all the time we remark how under control, calm and confident Isaiah is for a rookie. Just don't see the same kind of rookie mistakes. Sometimes the anxiousness that you see in a rookie trying to adjust to the speed of the game at the big league level. Very much relaxed and under control. At least that's the way it appears outwardly. Not sure what he's feeling inside, but not sure the way it looks.
One out, Marcus Semien. He's been collared so far in 4 at bats, and the count now 1-1 to the A's leadoff man. Semien's on base just a shade under league average. And that drops a little bit more here tonight. Still, though, a pretty good all-round offensive Oakland A's team, and this one fouled away. It's 1-2. Semien's always been a little bit more of a bat-first infielder. He recently missed a couple of days on paternity leave for the birth of his second son. He and his wife welcomed a second boy to the world on last Wednesday. Took 2 days off to be with his family, and then right back at it. 5 years in the big leagues. And he stays alive 1-2. Here's the funny thing about Marcus Semien. I was looking through these Oakland A's before this series. We were talking about how both these teams lean on young players and they're trying to develop, look toward the future. Marcus Semien is the longest tenured athletic. He's been an A since 2015.
Wow. A lot of turnover with the A's. In 2016, Marcus Semien hit 27 home runs. Knocked in 75 runs. Last year he was hurt for a significant part of the year. He's got some power.
Chris Cuccione said he did not go around. 2-2 the count.
Not a popular call. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to go with a call. It was close.
Two. Chopper at third base. Again, Kiner Falefa. Again, more time. And a true throw takes care of Semien. 2 away. Well, the 2018 Camping World Major League Baseball All-Star ballot is now open and exclusively online. Make sure you vote your favorite Rangers. And Get the Rangers representatives on this year's squad by voting at texasrangers.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th Major League Baseball All-Star Game presented by MasterCard, July 17th, live on Fox. There's Pinder. Got a double in the 7th inning and scored the 4th run for Oakland tonight. Martin trying to make it a 1-2-3 top of the 8th inning. Now when you were a kid, Tom, voting for the All-Star team, you had to go to the ballpark, right?
They didn't have voting for the All-Star team when I was a kid. I was a kid a long time ago, Dave.
Good night.
Fans weren't voting back then. But thanks. Nice of you to suggest that.
You have a ride home tonight?
I remember when there were 2 All-Star games and the players used to play 9 innings.
High pop-up out into center field. Delano wants that one, and he takes care of it. That's a 1-2-3 8th inning for Chris Martin. So last of the 8th coming. Beltre, Profar, and Gallo on the way.
4 game. Let's see how the Rangers got 4. 4th inning, Robinson Chirinos down the left field line for a home run. 6th inning, Jurickson Profar, left center field, 419 feet for the 2nd run. Then in the 7th inning, the home run that tied it, a 2-run shot by Shin-Soo Choo, takes a sinking ball down and away over the scoreboard in left field. And that's how the Rangers got their 4 runs, and that's where we are right now, 4-4, going to the bottom of the 8th.
Now with Lou Trevino coming out to pitch in this 8th inning for Oakland, and he has been very good. Runs a fastball right on the inside corner for a strike to Beltre. 19th appearance for Trevino. Look at those numbers.
Pretty good numbers. A few too many walks, though. He's walked 12 in 22 innings. And for the most part, he's gotten away with it.
Beltre, a little hot foot right there with that 99 miles per hour. This ball hit well out to left field. Going back is Canna. Looks up. It is gone. Beltre's 2nd home run of the season. And he has the Rangers in front 5-4.
One of the remarkable things about Adrian at his age is the fact that when he's healthy, his bat is still as quick as a younger player. We've seen it time and time again. He comes up with a guy against a guy with big-time heat, a ball with some movement on the inside part of the plate, and he launches it 404 feet to left field. Just an amazing athlete. When you're just trying to get ahead and throw a strike, and next thing you do, you look up and you're down 5-4.
Little in on Profar, 2-0. Wow, so much fun, he wants to do it again. Well, he's a game changer. When he's healthy and in there, Beltre still has that thunder in the bat. And he has helped the Rangers now to another comeback effort. Their first lead of the night, 5-4 here in the 8th. And that is outside, ball 4. So Profar walks on 4 pitches after the homer.
You got a guy, not only is he throwing hard, he's throwing 98, 99 miles an hour. And a guy in his upper 30s turned it around like he's 25 years old.
Scott Emerson out there for a moment now. Look at these extra base hits all time by foreign-born players. Beltre 70 back of Rafael Palmeiro and David Ortiz. Still a ways to go to catch Albert Pujols. That's quite a little list right there. So a man on now for Joey Gallo.
Trevino had pitched 22 innings coming into this appearance and had not given up a home run. That's the first home run he's given up.
Yeah, and just the third time all year he's even allowed a run. Take a look at what the rest of the ball club has done today. Boy, pretty evenly distributed. Gallo looking to get his first hit of the night. Perhaps in this at bat, 0 for 2 with the walk. And that ball's hit well. Out to right field and gone! A bolt of lightning into the right field bleachers. And that extends the Rangers' lead.
Joey Gallo's had some good swings in this game. You wouldn't know it coming into that at bat. He was 0 for 2. But one of the outs was a hard hit smash to second. The other was a line shot to right field. Third at bat was a nice walk against a left-handed pitcher. An at bat in which he had several really good swings. And in this one, he turns around a 96 fastball with a line shot to right field. That's got to be one of those 115, well, 117-mile-an-hour shots that only Joey Gallo can hit. One of the few hitters that can hit a ball that hard. So Rangers have just pounded the ball tonight. That's their 5th home run in the game. All their runs have come by way of the home run. That was a rope.
Number 16 this season for Joey Gallo. This ball chopped foul by Chirinos.
Again, 2 home runs in this inning against a guy who had yet to give up a home run coming into this appearance.
So the late and explosive offense again of the Rangers against, it seems lately very quality relievers, guys who have been on real good runs. They did it to Edwin Diaz out in Seattle. They did it again in Anaheim. And now here against these Oakland A's. And we talked about it earlier, a bullpen that 7th, 8th, and 9th inning had really been locked in. Chirino strikes out swinging, and that is the first out in this 8th inning. Here comes Bob Melvin. That'll do it for Lou Trevino. So tough one for him. He's done, and we will see yet another reliever coming out of that Oakland pen.
The lead by way of the home run. Adrian Beltre turns around an upper 90s fastball. That makes it 5-4. And then Joey Gallo, after a jerks and profile walk, 117 miles an hour off the bat, turns around a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. The Rangers hit their 5th home run of the game and take the lead 7-4.
Those two guys delivering the big blows. And by the way, 5 home runs is a new season high for the Rangers this year in a game. I don't know why that caught me a little bit by surprise. They'd hit 4 home runs on a number of occasions, but 5 tonight, and that's a high water mark. Leads 7-4. All right, Emilio Pagan has come on in this 8th inning to face Rougned Odor, and he pops this one foul out of play. A little over 1 year since the Rangers have hit 5 home runs in a game. Saw that shot at Chu. He's had 3 home runs in his last 4 games. So the weather heating up, and so too maybe are these Rangers bats. Oakland 4 runs on 10 hits. The Rangers 7 runs on 8 hits. 5 of those 8 hits have landed on the other side of the fence. And it's 1-2. Down in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A little double barrel action out of the Rangers bullpen. Keone Kela and Jake Diekman getting ready for the 9th inning. Chris Martin, just as Tom had suggested, pitch a scoreless 8th inning, and you might put yourself in position to pick up a win.
Yep, very good plan. It is a save situation right now, 3-run lead.
High full count now on Odor. Rugi 2 hits today, a bunt single and an infield hit as well. And we're seeing it on the road trip. The bat's starting to come around a little bit, and part of it is using the other side of the field a little more as he takes a walk. The Rangers have another base runner in this 8th inning. And Melvin enjoying what he is watching in these late innings.
Yeah, through 5 innings, the Rangers had Robinson Chirinos home run. That was it. Boy, in the 6, 7, and 8, they've hit 4 home runs and scored 6 runs. Walked 3 times.
So here is DeShields, had a base hit last time up, a bunt. It looks like Lucroy asked for that timeout right there. Minor adjustment. But Shields' bunt was popped up. It's this ball in the air out to short right field. Lowry continuing to chase that one and finally does get to it. 2 away. And here's Chu. Well, easily the hottest hitter on this team right now. Whether you want to look at it from the standpoint of power or the 12-game hitting streak, or the on-base streak that he is on, which is now at 21 games. Chu's hitting .290 now over the last 43 games. And he fouls this one away. 0-2 the count. Three-run lead, but more out there if the Rangers want to try and take it. Odor, small lead at first, and they'll try and keep him closer. Those first 5 innings, the Rangers were 3 for 18 with the 1 run. Since then, 5 hits and 12 at bats, 6 runs scored. Now 1-2 on Chu. Fishing stories now down there for Adrian. Chu stays alive.
The A's relievers have been pretty good this year. They've thrown a lot of innings. But their ERA has been solid, one of the top 3 or 4 in the league. The Rangers have jumped on the relievers in this game. Pete, Trevino, guys have been throwing the ball well.
There's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Chu strikes out to end the threat in the 8th inning, but the Rangers pick up 3 huge runs.
A 3-run lead, and they've got 3 outs to make it official. Dana Larson along with David Murphy and Jeff Fry will have the postgame show coming up. David, what are you leading with?
Matt Moore's best start as a Ranger and a bunch of homers.
Yeah, I like what the bottom of the batting lineup did tonight. I mean, they were the catalyst for this offense.
All of those storylines and, of course, reaction from the clubhouse, guys. See you soon.
All right, sounds good. Here we go. 9th inning, and Kella wasting no time. Gets strike 1 right in there.
Take a look at the pitch arsenal. Basically 2 pitches, fastball, curveball. Well, he's certainly growing into the role of a closer. Going for his 14th save. 13 for 13 coming into this game. Pitching with confidence and the look of a closer.
Well, he has been terrific as Lowry fouls this one away in the count 0-2. Lowry, Davis, Olsen in this 9th inning. 7-4 Rangers lead. This one lifted down the left field line again, but will end up among the spectators. So Kella on. We're going to keep his little stretch of consecutive saves going. Coming right after, guys. A pitch on the way to Lowry, way in. So some defensive changes as well. Ronald Guzman comes into the game, replaces Chu in the batting order, but takes over for Gallo at first, and that means that Gallo goes out to left field. That breaking ball just missed. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, it's a pitch that when you look at the Fox tracks was a lot closer to being a strike than it looked like if you just watched the pitch. Also a pretty tough pitch to lay off of if you're the hitter.
Lowry's 1 for 6 in his career against Keone Kella. Had a hit in his first at bat today. It was a double. He's flat out twice and grounded out once since. And this one is hit on the ground foul. That might have broken his bat. We'll go get a new one. So good at bat here for Lowry.
Now, one thing you expect is a good at bat when Lowry comes to the plate. He's a veteran, knows how to hit. Good hitter. Talked about him earlier in the game. Line drive power. Good bet when the season starts if he stays healthy to hit 40 doubles. Off to a great start this year.
9th pitch of the at bat, and he swings and misses. Strike 3. Lowry down on strikes. 1 away in the 9th inning.
Now that was the big curveball that stayed up. And if you're Lowry, he's probably thinking that ball is going to break down a little bit more. But it stayed up, and by the looks of the swing, fooled him a little bit. Not necessarily where you would try to throw the curveball, but it ended up there and had success with it.
Chris Davis, and he shoots it foul out of play. See at the bottom of your screen there. Also 1 for 6 against Kella. There's just something about Chris Davis, though, as a Ranger. Ooh. tight, 1-1. Another big knot at the plate. And Davis takes, we'll call it low, 2-1. Good heater there at 97. Kella having to work right now, not getting those borderline calls from Vanover. You can see maybe a little frustration there.
Yeah, he's had to throw 12 pitches already.
There's a strike, 2-2. And now Davis not in love with that call.
Yeah, very few hitters have as quiet an approach to hitting as Davis does. Hardly anything moves. Virtually no stride. Hands move a little bit. Other than that, not much.
Swing and a miss at the breaking ball. Back-to-back strikeouts by Kella. 2 away here in the 9th inning.
A good look at Keone snapping off that straight downward breaking curve. Interesting to look at the 2 curveballs for 2 strikeouts. The one to Lowry stayed way up in the strike zone, and that one was right where Keone wanted it, to a home run hitter, down and slightly out of the strike zone.
Matt Olson now. Big night at the plate. 3 hits. Of course, we talked about it earlier. The guy who's been launching baseballs for Oakland. And a breaking ball for a strike. 1-1. Strike 2.
Tough to hit that curveball when you know that the pitcher also has a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
The 1-2 pitch, and this one fouled away. Rangers trying to finish off a come-from-behind win. 10 of them so far this year. A 1-2 pitch and a pop-up foul back our direction. Yeah. That one actually into the booth, huh?
It did come in the booth.
Where'd it go? Well, tomorrow we'll wrap this thing up. Just a quick 2-game series. Daniel Mengden and Bartolo Colon, the pitching matchup. Bartolo wants that little piece of history again tomorrow. Trying to stay warm. 1-2. And another foul tip by Olson. So did you find a kid, Tom, with the ball?
Did find a kid. Yep. I still don't know how that ball got in here. I stopped looking at it. Must have caromed off the concourse and come in.
Yep.
I don't get many up here.
Here it comes. Strike 3 called. And Kella strikes out the side in order of the 9th. And the Rangers come from behind and beat Oakland 7-4 in the opener. And once again, Kella with a 1-2-3 9th inning for the save.
He's just pitching with so much confidence right now. And a 2-pitch pitcher, 96 to 98 mile an hour fastball, and that downward breaking curveball is a lethal combination. Feels confident that he can throw either pitch at any time for a strike. Hitters tend to give up on that curveball or swing at it when it's out of the strike zone. 14 for 14 now in save opportunities for the Ranger closer.
don't want to say unsung, but I would say this. I don't know that we quite had the time or maybe the space or whatever to give him the credit that he has deserved. Keone Kela has really given this team a lift with the way he has pitched in the 9th innings in the end of ball games. The Rangers win it 7-4 today. More excellent at bats late in the ball game, and a big night for the long ball tonight.
Yeah, this game was tied 4-4 when Adrian Beltre turned around an upper 90s fastball, hit it high and far to left center field. Joey Gallo would follow that up with a 2-run shot. Margin was a 3-run margin for the Rangers, but that was the go-ahead run by Adrian. Here's Joey Gallo.
Well, that home run good enough to get him on the postgame show with Emily.
Yes, and he's been longing for these postgame interviews for so long since being on the DL. Adrian, you said you wanted to come back, you wanted to be healthy, you wanted to play, and you wanted to help this team win games. You were able to do that tonight. What does a win like this do for you guys as a team?
It was good. It was good. I think that we're playing better. Where are you going?
I didn't know what it was.
I think our offense is capable to do this more often. Our pitching staff has been great the last 2-3 weeks, and it's time for the lineup to start picking up the pitching staff.
How important is it for you to set a tone throughout this offense and in the dugout?
I mean, first of all, I need to be healthy and be here kind of helping the guys, and those guys have been great. They work hard. It's not going to be easy. He's going to be around the whole year, but I think those guys find a way how to be consistent. I think those two guys are going to be okay.
One of the things that we've seen storylines emerge is Keone Kela really kind of come into his own in that closer role. What have you seen from him kind of on a personal level and what he's been able to do out there in the 9th inning?
He has grown a lot as a pitcher. I think he understands what he needs to do. He had the stuff to do it for sure. He just needed to get his mind into it, and I think he's proven that I think he's 14 out of 14 in safe situations, so he's being really good for us.
Adrian, you're still good at interviews. Congratulations. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
He is. He's good at everything, for crying out loud, and that was a beauty tonight. 7-4, our final score. Stay with